Hello and welcome to Gadget First. This is the Sony Ericsson Xperia Neo. It's not by any means the newest or most powerful phone in the Xperia range by Sony Ericsson. However, it is getting into that price now where it's really tempting for people who would otherwise go for more expensive phones, but they see this phone, which is a relatively good performing phone, at a very tasty price indeed. You can get it at around £15 a month on contract now with the phone for free, so that's actually a really tempting offer for most people. So now let's take a look at the software on the phone. So basically, the lock button is on the right hand side. Very easy to get to if you're right handed like me. However, if you're left handed, it might be a little bit more tricky. But moving on the right you have this slider where you can slide it left and it swaps between the sound on and the sound off, and on the left you slide this slider right to unlock the phone. So you're greeted with Sony Ericsson's home screen, which is pretty much exactly the same as what we've seen on previous Sony Ericssons, like the Arc, the Xperia Mini and Play. So there's not much different here. If you want to have like a really in-depth look at the software, I'd recommend looking at one of the other videos. But basically, just a quick overview if you can't be bothered to go on one of those videos. You have 5 home screens and a multitude of widgets, some of which Sony Ericsson make themselves. And you get your own HTC kind of helicopter view kind of thing, where you can pinch to zoom like that and it brings up your widgets. So yeah, it brings up your widgets rather than pages, which is kind of a sensible way of doing things, because when you do that on an HTC or on any phone, you're looking for the widget that you want rather than the page, so it kind of makes sense. So yeah, that's the software. Home screen wise, is really not a lot different to other Sony Ericssons. So we'll just take a look at the external features of the phone. So if I just lock the screen here. On the front we have a 3.7-inch WVGA touchscreen. It's not anything like Super AMOLED or Super AMOLED Plus or anything too special. However, it is pretty good in sunlight, I have to say. The phone has a pretty bright screen. Colours aren't anything too special, though they are nice. It reproduces like quite realistically, and it's perfectly readable in sunlight. It has the resolution of WVGA, so everything on the screen is relatively sharp. And at the bottom of the phone we have 3 buttons. We have a back button, home button, and a menu button. On the top we have a front-facing camera, which is VGA, I do believe, and also the earpiece there. On the right of the phone we have the unlock button. We have this LED which shows of low battery life, it shows when it's charging, and also notifications. We have the volume rocker here, which is in the middle of the phone. Again, suitable for right-handed people, less so for left-handed people. And we have the camera key here, and it kind of has a little groove to let you know where it is, so even if you're in like a dark room or outside at night, you can still feel where the camera key is. On the back we have an 8 megapixel HD camera with flash. This is one of Sony's CMOS sensors as well, so basically this allows you to take superior videos and capture superior photos at night time. I'll show you some of that later in the review. And this is the secondary microphone. So that's basically all of the features of the phone externally. I have to say the phone, it's got a nice curvature to it, and basically it fits in the palm of your hand very comfortably. If you watch the Sony Ericsson Xperia Arc video, you'd know It's very thin and basically goes the other way, like that, rather than like that, so it kind of doesn't fit in the hand quite as well as this phone. However, this phone does feel very good in the hand. Perfect weight as well. It's very nice, and one of the perfect sizes as well. It's one of the best phones to hold in your hand. I know that's not everything, but it's one thing that is quite major, and it definitely feels good. So getting techie now. The phone has a 1 GHz processor. It's not dual core, but at the price that it's at now, you wouldn't expect a dual core, and it does a snappy job. I mean, if I show you just the general running of the phone, everything seems really snappy, and something we've noticed with Sony Ericsson's is that there's pretty much no lag when just skimming between home screens and things like this. There's literally no lag. It's brilliant. So yeah, that's nice. You've got 512 megabytes of RAM, so there's plenty there for multitasking. You can always press and hold the home button to show your recent apps. And I've already said about the 8 megapixel camera, very nice indeed. The screen. So yeah, everything technical, although it's not cutting edge, for the price, it makes it a very a good deal actually at this price. So it's very good. I'll just show you something I missed initially. If I unplug it here. On top, you do have an HDMI port here. Yeah, an HDMI port here, and also a USB port here, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. Unfortunately, Sony Ericsson didn't provide us with the HDMI cable, so we weren't able to fully test the capabilities of that. However, we do know it works quite well, and you can just plug it into your TV and watch movies that are on the phone, or play games on the phone and show them on your TV, which is pretty cool. And that's just the USB port here, which is for charging and syncing. So on to battery life. The phone lasts about a day and a half of quite heavy usage actually, and considering most Android phones don't have fantastic battery life, this is a good testament to Sony Ericsson's achievement here. It will last about 2.5 days at good usage if you're like a mild user. The battery itself, if I just take it out, I think it's 1,500. 1,500 milliamps. Yeah, 1,500 milliamp hour. So yeah, it's not especially a large capacity battery, but it does last a while, which is nice. Build quality on the phone is quite nice as well. Feels relatively solid. Despite this might look a bit metallic to you, it is just a metallic finish on plastic. Everything on the phone is plastic. I mean, this is just plasticky, but you know, it does feel quite solid actually. It's got a nice weight to it, despite all the plastic finishing. Would have liked to see more premium materials being used, but at this price range now, it's nothing to be sniffed at. So I'll just boot the phone again, and I'll be back with you then. So I'll just tell you some of the connectivity choices on the phone. Has Wi-Fi B, N, BG and N, so if you have a fast router you can take full advantage of that. Has Bluetooth, and it allows you to pair your phone with audio devices such as wireless headphones, wireless speakers, and your hands-free system in the car. So that's pretty handy. And it also has HSDPA, so you'll have good fast internet wherever your signal allows. So that's nice as well. Other than that, there's not much to say about the phone. One thing that we do find is that all Sony Ericssons seem to be the same, really. On the inside, they seem to be very similar. I mean, everything about this phone is, on the software side of things, is exactly the same as the Arc, which is a bit disappointing. I'd like to see like something that differentiates this phone. But you know, let's just go into the things, into the software. So on the camera app, we can change the capturing mode. It can like recognize a scene, or you can just do it in the normal mode. You can select your resolution. You can use the front camera like that. Hello. And you can select scenes. There's landscape, night portrait, sports, documents, portraits, night scenes, beach and snow, and party. So optimize the camera for each of those, and you can turn on and off flash. So there's really not much new on this phone, to be honest. It can do HD video, 720p. So it's not full HD, but we don't really expect that on dual cores. So there's nothing particularly wrong with the phone, but you know, it's not right up there with the best. But that's not too much to worry about, considering you can get it at £15 a month on contract. So that's really not a bad thing, really. And the addition of HDMI is quite nice. So basically, software is the same as all other Sony Ericssons that have been out this year, pretty much. Design is very nice, actually. It feels very nice in the hand, has a good weight to it, and the build quality isn't bad. But it just lacks in differentiating from its competitors. So therefore, we're going to give this phone a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching Gadget First.